This is The Burning Truth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Burning Truth. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm doing this all solo again. I am the host, Matt Burns, the Funk Soul Brother, and unfortunately, my co-host, who normally does this with me, which is the man, the myth, the legend, Nathan Goth, isn't here with us. Unfortunately, that is possibly due to a busy schedule and possibly some other reasons. So, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to make it. However, we're hoping to. I'm hoping to keep this as fun as much as possible, and also potentially also provide some interesting news, facts, or anything. However, anybody's more than welcome to send in any messages to us. You can catch us on our social media, or if they want to chat to us live, they can even try to chat to us through through Spreaker, which is where this will be airing right now. Or if you want to listen to us, you can actually listen to us on our website, which is www.theburningtruth.co.uk. Now, with the quick introductions already out the way, we do actually have some interesting news to pretty much get us pushed on to, which is that the long-time WWE music composer Jim Johnston has been reportedly that he might have been released or that his contract has expired. However, that is only rumours say. It's not 100% guaranteed. It hasn't been stated on the WWE website. However, it might be possible that WWE is going over to CFO Dollar as the full-time composer. However, I do think it will be such a shame if Jim Johnston is no longer with the company. However, because he did produce some fantastic music, during his time while he was there, especially one of them being, The Rocks, the electrifying entrance theme of The Rocks. Now, moving on from that, the WWE have actually officially announced some interesting matches for the upcoming WWE Clash of Champions, which is if I'm not mistaken, a SmackDown pay-per-view. Now, the one thing I will state I thought was very interesting when they produced the video, they basically had Byron Saxton announce it on YouTube, on like a bit of a WWE exclusive extra. It's on their YouTube page. Now, the one thing I thought was really interesting was, even though it's the pay-per-view is called Clash of Champions, he literally stated the following words, where it's the only night where all championships are defended. Now, straight away there, the problem I have with it is most pay-per-views, most of the time, the championships are defended. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that tagline does not fit Clash of Champions. The last time I checked, where WWE had a pay-per-view where it was every championship being defended, it was called Night of Champions, which was a pay-per-view that was exclusive for all brands, which meant that every championship in the WWE is being defended. I just thought it's a bit of unusual wording that Byron Saxton did use that. However, as he was currently stating, while he was while they're on their tours and everything, they've announced 3 championship matches. Now, what I thought was so interesting about this is that they officially announced 3 of the main championship. However, there is one championship that hasn't been mentioned, which is the main one. However, that's already been officially announced anyway as well. So essentially, it is all championships of the SmackDown brand, just not of all of WWE. So officially, Byron Saxton should have said all SmackDown champions, not just all champions. So officially, so currently at the moment, we definitely know at the moment we've got AJ Styles defending his championship against Jinder Mahal at WWE Clash of Champions. And also, we have now officially got the SmackDown Women's Championship being defended by Charlotte Flair against Natalya. Now, the one thing I thought was interesting about this is Natalya is getting a title defense. Is getting a title match against Charlotte Flair. However, if I'm not mistaken, she was forced to pair up with Charlotte Flair recently against the Riot Squad. You know, Ruby Riot and her three colleagues. And if I'm not mistaken, during that match, didn't Ruby Riot get the win? So essentially, which Natalya did walk out on, so essentially, doesn't that make Ruby Riot a potential number one contender by beating the champion? So, I don't get the idea of why I understand why they picked Natalya, because technically she hasn't had the chance to regain her championship. But if they're going to have other wrestlers defeating the current champion, why aren't they involved? Basically, what you're saying there is Natalya going to be re-winning the championship back? Potentially, because Ruby Riot can beat Charlotte Flair, or the second that Charlotte Flair does defeat Natalya, is Ruby Riot the next number one contender? I just feel as though it's a bit of an unusual picking straight away. I honestly thought it was going to be Ruby Riot and not Natalya. But anyway, moving on. The United States Championship will be defended by Baron Corbin against Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Now, I'm okay with the idea of being a triple threat. I'm fine with it. The only thing I think's really unusual, I understand why both these people are involved. I just feel as though Bobby Roode should have a chance against Baron Corbin one-on-one instead of Dolph Ziggler being involved. Because if I'm not mistaken, the last time Dolph Ziggler was involved on a pay-per-view, he was losing to Bobby Roode, in which, if I'm not mistaken, during his last feud, he lost to Bobby Roode, in I think it was 2 out of 3 falls match. Yep, and it's a bit unusual that Dolph Ziggler is the one going for the championship, where I feel as though Bobby Roode should be going for it, especially when he was on the last pay-per-view, main eventing the last pay-per-view, where Dolph Ziggler wasn't even on the card. Not at all. But then again, plenty could be said about Jinder Mahal. However, at least there was some backstory with that. Now, I would love it if Bobby Roode became the United States Champion. However, I don't believe he will. I think Baron Corbin will keep the championship, same as with SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair keeping hers. Now, the next match that we will be announcing is SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The Usos defend their championship against the New Day and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Straight away, it's a bit of an unusual pairing, another triple threat, which I'm fine with, because I do think that New Day and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin are technically second and third place for the championship, for the tag team championship. I think that will be an absolute fantastic match. However, I do feel as though Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin are I don't think they're going. The Usos have had the title for a little bit, but I feel as though the Usos are going to keep the titles against this team. I don't think the New Day will be regaining the championship. However, I feel as though there's going to be some team fighting in this match, either between the New Day or at the very least, or more likely between Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, because they, as much as they are teaming together, it feels as though they're still separate because they haven't got really a tag team name. Where, with the Usos and the New Day, they've actually got like their Kamada, their tag team names and everything. I feel as though with Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, it just seems like it's a singles pairings, which I think is a bit of a shame. Moving on from this, hopefully, I do think that the Usos will keep the championship. As for the main event, which will be AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal, I think AJ Styles will keep the championship. However, it's a possibility that there has been talks of AJ Styles potentially keeping it till WrestleMania. However, that is not guaranteed or anything promised. Moving on from that, there's still talks of with Finn Balor doing his over gimmick on Twitter, still trying to get over. He's still tweeting, sending out stuff. However, there is reports that he is trying to rile up Brock Lesnar, supposedly, which he's actually done a bit of a funny tweet that he sent out. He's doing a bit of trolling, still sending out tweets saying over that he's still over. However, he's got like a bit of a tweet that's going out stating, involving Brock Lesnar. Hey, Fame, want to hear a joke show Universe title match? I don't get it. And this, I think, is quite funny what Finn Balor is doing. He's sort of bringing attention to himself to show that he is over. The crowd do respond well to him and everything. However, this could be just the whole thing with the Vince McMahon supposedly stating that Finn Balor isn't over. I personally think that could be just someone trying to spread a rumour, which, okay, they aren't fully pushing him yet. However, for some unknown reason, I do think he will have a championship match against Brock Lesnar. However, I do not think he will be taking the title off him at all. If it isn't him, then it's more likely Braun Strowman. However, I feel as though Strowman deserves, if he does go up against him, he should have at least a run with the title. However, they're not going to do that because they've already got plans of Brock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, with Roman Reigns finally getting the big win on Brock Lesnar, and most likely even kicking out of the F5, which he's been defeating everybody with one F5 recently. So potentially, I think that's what their plan is. However, the one thing I have noticed recently, personally myself, that Roman Reigns is actually getting over with the crowd. It's not as, okay, it might not be as quick as what Vince McMahon and what everybody wants. However, him having that time off due to a bit of an illness has actually possibly done some good for him, because he's been out of the line, out of the picture, out of the main event picture. He's now coming in. He's the new Intercontinental Champion, and I will say, it's a very, very interesting dynamic that they've got him in a bit of a position where he's over. Is this because he's the Intercontinental Champion? People are assuming that he's not going to go for the main championship and whatnot. Not too sure. They won't know until potentially when he drops the championship and potentially goes for the main championship. Now, also, moving on from that, John Cena being sued by Ford Motor Company over the sale of his car. Oh dear. I can honestly say that is one person I didn't expect to be getting sued. However, it's supposedly I'm not mistaken, TMZ has been reporting that John Cena's been sued by Ford for selling his 2017 Ford GT because he's violated terms of a contract with the company car. Supposedly, according to documents filed in the U.S. District Court in Michigan, Cena was selected from thousands of applicants of the opportunity to purchase the Ford GT and agreed to keep the car valued at, I think it's about $500,000. Yep, $500,000 for at least 2 years before selling it. Cena's ended up selling the cars much sooner soon after purchasing it, which supposedly means Ford is ended up filing suit. Now, Ford is demanding Cena forfeits all profits from the sale and is suing for damages the company claims. Supposedly, but Cena has, and this is supposedly some wording that's been mentioned. Cena has unfairly made a large profit from the unauthorized resale flip of the vehicle, and the Ford has suffered additional damage and losses, including but not limited to the loss of brand value, ambassador activity, and customer goodwill due to the improper sale. According to suit, Cena told the company he sold the car and other properties to pay bills. Now the question is this we don't 100% know if this is true or not. However, if this is the case, then is he doing this to pay certain other bills and whatnot? Is Cena in money troubles? We don't know. The only way we'll know more about this is when it further develops, and at this moment in time, it's just going to stay as it is. However, if he has gone against certain contract terms and conditions, then potentially Ford does have a right. However, they could be lenient depending on if John Cena is having issues to pay bills and whatnot. They could be supposedly lenient, or this could just be a bit of a vicious rumour that's going round and whatnot. Now, moving on from that, for ourselves, with the Burning Truth at the moment, currently, we have just recently finished off the United Wrestling review, which will be hopefully getting updated on the website at the end of this episode. So once this episode is finished, the website will be getting updated, and the United Wrestling review will be fully up and ready to be read. So hopefully that will be interesting. However, there is another review that was currently being done, which was for the Academy Wrestling, the last Academy Wrestling show, which was remember the 4th of November, which was on the 4th of which was done on the 4th of November. Unfortunately, there is still currently some editing going on, and that one is a audio review, which hopefully should be getting done either hopefully by this weekend, or at the very least during next week. I think that's what I'm going to do right now, because normally I have my colleague to go back and forth on certain news. We can go between each other. I'm going to leave it till potentially next week when my esteemed co-host has returned to talk about more news and whatnot. So I do apologise if this has been a bit of a shorter episode. I just feel as though I need me co-host with me. But I did feel as though an episode did need to come out and some news to be provided. However, just before I go, I will state to do with one more story to do with WWE, which is to do with Matt Hardy. Will there be another broken universe within WWE, as it appears that Matt Hardy is slowly turning into broken Matt Hardy, especially when he lost to Bray Wyatt this week, and he was literally after the match doing delete, delete, delete. Now, the interest in this is the fact that the whole copyright stuff and whatnot is being completely changed because supposedly Impact Wrestling is no longer chasing it, and within so many days, I believe it's going up for to be able to have the copyright being purchased, which I am assuming if it isn't purchased on at a certain time, that all the rights and credibility go straight to Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, or straight to the Hardys, to be able to use the Broken Universe, be it within WWE or even outside of it. So effectively, they will own the rights, which means they will have full rights to be able to use it on WWE television. So with that, I think that's going to be the last piece of news for this week. We hope you find it interesting. If you do have any messages you want to send to us, send it to us through our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and everything. You can either access the website, which is www.theburningtruth.co.uk. You can even, if you want there, you can send a message through there, or if you want to send an email directly to us, you can send that to us, which is theburningtruth@outlook.com. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to recommend, a few quick cheap blogs, which is the UK Wrestle Fan Zone, the UKWA. They do fantastic work. They always help us out whenever we're shows for any interviews. They do great video footage and photography, so we do recommend them. I'm going to give another recommendation to Team 4 Star as they keep producing out weekly stuff and some interesting stuff every week. It doesn't have to be on I'm just trying to think what it's called, where they're doing their own version of Dragon Ball Z, or anything. They do many different stuff, and it's always interesting. Also, I want to give a shout out to a band called the New Breed, which I know the bassist there, which is Dan French. I will state, I always recommend their work. Fantastic. You can check them out on Spotify, as they've got some of their songs on there. I believe they are actually releasing a music video of one of their songs, which should hopefully be this Monday. Now that'll be interesting to see. And last but not least, we do recommend you check out Changes for Healthy Minds and whatnot. We always recommend that straight away. As if anybody does need any help, we do recommend you go on there. Or if you feel as though somebody does need help, you can check on for any great information or any help that can help you provide assistance and whatnot. So, and as for the last shout out, I want to give out because the one thing I will state is the Old Dutch Designs. I'm giving them a shout out personally because they recently did me a brand new logo for Matt Burns, and they were actually the ones who designed the Burning Truth logo. So I greatly appreciate the fact that they do fantastic work. And if anybody's after any logo work and designs, I do recommend you check out Old Dutch Designs, which you can actually find them on Facebook, and do recommend that as well. So with that, that's a bit of a wrap up from us, or from myself. So we hopefully you'll stay well, and hopefully we'll catch you either at the next broadcast, the next interview, or the next review. So till then, stay well, stay safe, and catch you next week.